Hello and welcome to our webinar. I'm Eva, an AI assistant at Potential.com, and it's my pleasure to be your host today. In this session, we'll be exploring how AI chatbots can revolutionize your website and business. Our agenda for today includes Startup/SME Clinic live case studies. We'll dive into live case studies from your websites, demonstrating how AI chatbots can increase your sales and decrease costs. You'll see real-world examples tailored to your specific websites. Statistics. We'll share some compelling statistics to highlight the impact of AI chatbots in the business world. And here is the exciting news. A free AI chatbot for attendees. We have an exciting offer. All attendees will receive a free custom AI chatbot tailored to your business needs. Interactive Q&A. Finally, we'll have a Q&A session where you can ask any questions and get personalized advice. By the end of this webinar, you'll have a clear understanding of how AI chatbots can transform your website, drive leads, grow your business, and reduce costs. So, let's get started. According to Smatbot, AI chatbots can reduce customer service costs by 30%. This reduction comes from automating routine inquiries, allowing human agents to handle complex tasks. Chatbots operate 24/7, providing immediate responses and enhancing customer satisfaction. In short, AI chatbots reduce costs and increase sales, transforming your business operations. Stay with us to learn how to leverage this technology.
Okay, hi everyone. Thanks for joining. Glad to see people from all over the world join us today. Welcome to Ali and Shahid from Pakistan. It seems Pakistan is the dominant has the dominant participation today. Ali as well, welcome. Tausan from Jerusalem, welcome. Great you join us, and hope you're safe and well. And Isa from Beirut, great to see you as well. So I'd love to have you engage with us during the coming couple of minutes that we have together, so that we make this as practical as possible. So do interact, and let's start by just getting a bit more insight about you and your business. So do you have a business? Are you running AI now in any capacity? Do you have any specific questions or things that you're sort of having a challenge with that we can go over? What I've prepared today we actually requested a few of the registrants to send us their websites and if they'd like us to create a bot before the session. So I'm not sure if any of you attending now have done that and have sent us your websites, but we created a few practical bots ready to go on the websites that were sent to us. And we've taken a few other websites which we can discuss together to show you different angles in which they could use AI chatbots to improve their sales or improve their customer service. In the end, anything that we do in business has two key priorities. One is to increase the revenue, and two is to reduce the costs. And with AI tools, there's so many applications for doing both of these two angles. And what we'll do today is we're going to focus on, in the AI tools, the AI chatbots, because these are really what we believe low-hanging fruits. Everyone can apply them, can set them up quite easily, and they can add a lot of value, as we're going to see today, to existing websites and in a very quick way. So immediately adding value in terms of helping you with your sales efforts or helping you with your service and reducing your costs. So if I can have access to share my screen, let me see if that happens. But in the meantime, I still haven't seen on chat feedback from you. Who's got a startup or who's working in a capacity of an organization, or who has joined us today from just to learn and for your own, maybe you're already doing things on the side and you want a bot for your own personal activities. So send a chat on the chat, send us your details. Also, if you've already shared with us one of your websites, shared with the team, one of the websites to create for you a bot, please also identify yourself so that we can interact specifically once we get to that with you. But keep them coming. I can say Isa has made a measured shirt shop. Okay, great. Working in an e-commerce website. Excellent. Shahid, director in a public sector IT setup. Excellent. Ali, I have a startup. Ali, I have a startup, dynamic marketing. Great. I mean, it's great to see the variety, and keep them coming. Keep your inputs coming. Let me go to my, this is going to be very hands-on, so I hope you enjoy it, and keep giving us your feedback as we go along, so we make this as useful as possible for you. So now, I mean, we'll start with something from potential. So we recently launched a AI upskilling program, and it's a typical program. It includes training content. We sell it online to different members, and it's basically to get all employees up to date with AI skills, what they need to know, and this is being used by individuals buying the course themselves, or companies buying it for their employees. And you can see it includes some content, it includes some AI tools, coaches, human coaches, and more details of different elements in the program. But what I wanted to show you is that how we've embedded onto this a chatbot, which is the discussion of our session today. You can see I've just clicked on the chatbot now, and in the chatbot, basically individuals can immediately start interacting to know more about the program. So you can see here the AI bot says, if you want to boost your productivity by 10x, we suggest you start with the AI Amplify program. Let me know if you have any questions. So how long is the program? Is a question as an example I'm going to send. And then it starts to interact with you. Basically, so it tells you it's self-paced, half-year period, etc. You know, and it goes. So how do you think this flexibility could benefit your schedule and learning styles? It's pretty good. I'm self-employed. Do you think it's good for me? Is a good fit for me. So here I'm just showing you an example of how these chatbots can take a standard website to the next level and allow you to have the website interact with the users, personalize. I mean, these bots are designed in a way where they have a conversation with the user and they encourage them to go further. So you can see here how the bot reinforced my question. Absolutely, being self-employed, the AI upskilling program can be a game changer for you. It can help you streamline your business processes, boost productivity, etc., etc. So this is an example of what we're going to talk about today. This is how the bots sit on a website, and they're very easy to add. So like I showed you here, we had an existing website, and it was very easy for us to add those details. Let me just check on the chat if you've got any questions. Fadi Masri, for example, saying I have his own website. G. Ibrahim, we're an established recruitment agency for medical staff based in Canada. Okay, great. So G. Abraham, I think we're going to show your company as an example of it. So you're one of the companies that shared with us your website, and we've created a bot for you. So we'll show you how it works there. Sausan has her own business in coaching and training services. Excellent. Sausan, you can see now how these bots can be really powerful when it comes to coaching. We have an example of that. So they could extend your coaching to be 24/7, available to users anytime. And of course, complement the training services by being, reinforcing the trainings, etc. Yep, we got, Abraham, we've got your website, and I'm going to show it to you in a bit. Fadi, we got now your website, but I don't think we received it before. So we'll work on it by email, and for the rest, do support, but do send your websites by email to the team, and over the next few days they'll be setting up your chatbots and then you could experiment with them, play around with them. So Sausan asked a very important question. Does it support Arabic language? And definitely it does. Let me try here, see if I can switch in the bot that I just showed you into Arabic and ask a question. بتكلم عربي. I'm not that good but in Arabic, but let's see if بتكلم عربي. So in terms of Fadi, Fadi's asking what kind of programming language needs to be created. It doesn't really need any program. The programming is happening at our end. What the team does is that they provide you with an embed code that you put on your website, and they will guide you on where to put that. So you just plug it on any website and it will pop up like this. And it just needs to be embedded in the code of the website, and the team can guide you. Like most websites and on the web use WordPress for, many of you might be using those, so those could be really easily added on. And if it's a custom kind of website, can be also added on over there. So Safsar, as you saw in my interaction with the bot here, I just changed the way I was talking to them, and they responded in Arabic. So even in the same discussion, you could even change languages, and the bot will understand and talk to you in the same language that you interacted with it. So I think we're going in the right direction. I love your questions, and they're spot on. So let's go into some other examples. So like I said in the beginning, so this was just an example of how we've used it on one of our offerings. So you can see it in action. Now I'm going to go to some of the registrants to the webinar that sent us their websites. And here's the first one. So I don't know if anyone's joining us from the team. They're Qatar Business Founders team. And this is their website. If anyone's joining us from this team, can you just chat with us on the chat so that we know that you're here, and then we can have a more deeper discussion, let's say. But this is the first page that basically you come to when you go to qbfounders.com. As you can see, it's a marketplace. There are different things. I'm not really sure. Like when I first come here, I'm not really sure, is it the right thing for me? There's so many questions, a lot of things to click on. And as you know, today, people's attention spans are quite limited. So a website like this, and I know some of you also said you have an e-commerce website, a website like this can make really good use of a chatbot. So imagine here that this website had a chatbot that pops up, and then you can interact with it and understand a bit more about if you have, if it is the right offer. So now we've set up a bot, Qatar Business Founders. We haven't embedded on their site because they have to do that from their end. But I'm going to show you the bot as it is functioning on our side. And here it is. So here's their bot. So you can imagine the same way I showed you the bot pops up on the AI Amplify program. You could imagine that this same bot can be run as a separate page. You could take, once we give you the embed code, you can embed it as a pop-up on the main homepage, or you could even embed it inside a content. So in the case of Salsa, for example, if you're doing a training course and you want a coaching bot to be in the window of the training course, we could give you the embed code, and you could just create a frame on that page of the course, and then it will be live and running like this, but a smaller version of it inside your website's frame. But here you can see, so again, imagine that we're going to this site again, we land here, and then we see a chatbot, we click on it, it opens up, and we can then interact with it. So let's interact with it. So here we say, how can I assist you today? It's asking me, I have a startup. Would I benefit from your services, as an example? Now, these bots, in this case, when they're sitting on a website, they are usually designed to be sales reps in their training. So we train them to be consultative sellers. And that's why you will see that they usually would respond. So here, for example, it will respond, absolutely. It tells us a bit more about the about the business, and it gives really the important points that are relevant for a startup. As you saw when I asked it, I said, I'm a startup and would I be able to benefit from it? So instead of giving me a boilerplate response, it's going to give me something that's relevant to me as a startup. And then it basically tries to upsell me. So over here, by upgrading to a premium account, you can unlock even more exclusive features, etc. And then it tells me to get in touch with them on whatever channel. So again, here you could guide it. If you have a landing page, you could make it always sort of try to point the users towards that landing page, or any kind of conversion mechanism. But let's say I'm still curious, I'm not convinced. When you say premium account, is the basic free version good enough? Let's see. I'm just asking it, but again, I didn't plan, these questions. You can ask him anything that comes to your mind. If anyone has any specific chat on question you'd like it to ask, or you'd like us to ask it, send me on the chat. Fadi's asking if we can have this lecture recorded, watch it back. Yep, why not? Okay, so G. Abraham saying, why use the service? We'll basically ask this to it. All right, it's taking a bit longer. Now, this is the thing with AI that I want you to be always, clear about, is that it's not perfect. Like, it's very much like humans, not perfect. It might take a little bit longer, but usually it does it. Only if there's a lot of traffic. I mean, it might get a little bit longer. I don't know if you heard, like over the past 2-3 days, for some reason, ChatGPT, Anthropic, and Google's AI, all of them went down at similar times. But there's a lot of demand now, so there's a lot of traffic, and we all are adjusting, even us at Potential. We have to adjust our infrastructure based on the demand. So sometimes things could go faster than other times, but in general, it's really, so it's not perfect, but it's 99%, I would say, there, and that's you could really make use of it effectively, etc. So you can see here why it's giving us a little bit more details. It's also giving us, if you see, different kinds of information. So this is very important. It's not like you're just repeating everything. So I'm going to ask the question that G. Abraham asked us. So why use your services? And J. Abraham, I'm going to basically, now it's going to be good to get your input on your side to ask a question. So here, again, it's giving us its feedback, and using services can highlight beneficial. So Ahmad, yeah, it's basically because we're still going around the same thing, it's basically asking us the same thing. And bear in mind, we just took some of the information to train this bot on, and we received the website yesterday. So definitely, like, if you are setting this up for yourself, you'd probably want to send us some more information that, outside of what's on your website, or some specific things you want to focus on. And this way it could become much more nuanced and where it wants to direct things. Okay, so these are different kind of things. You get the message, you get the idea. We'll go into the example of the next example, and then we can ask some other questions and try from another angle. So here, this is the company that G. Abraham is from. Great to hear. What's your first name, G, so that you don't keep on saying G. Abraham? Or if you'd like me to call you Abraham, then it's fine as well, but just let me know. Ghassan. Okay, Ghassan. So this is an example of another company. Like Ghassan was saying earlier, they're a reputable company already working with a lot of different companies, basically focused on the healthcare sector across different markets. And they already have a chatbot, which is also an interesting example, because I wanted to show you the difference between what we are referring to and what a lot of companies have who have chatbots. So similar to the discussion before, like we come to the website, there are a lot of different things, available opportunities. So if I'm a hospital owner, do I quickly see, is it good for me? Or, it's talking mainly to the first to the people looking for a job, then it's looking maybe for the companies, how to onboard. So there's a lot of information. It's a very extensive website, so really good in terms of the information that is there. It shows the credibility, but I still would probably want to ask someone something. So I click on the chatbot here, and what happens is that it loads with a set of specific questions. Now, this is the previous generation of chatbots, mainly followed this kind of decision tree process. And it was similar to the things that you have, like when in the IVR systems, the phone systems, press 1 for this, press 2 for that. Both these kind of systems follow a decision tree. And these decision trees are, they need a lot of effort to set up because you have to map out everything. But they're also quite restrictive when it comes to what the interactions that you can have with the users. But these bots, they're good. I mean, here they're focusing on the kind of things you want to ask. I could ask a question, and here it becomes open-ended. So similar to what we were doing. Let's see if we ask a question. But again, it gives me now options. Okay, so I can ask questions, but within the options. So, like let's say I have a hospital in Jordan. Do you have services there? Let's see. Okay, so you can see now it didn't really get the right question, the answer well, because again, these bots are designed more in line with a process flow. And since I went a bit about that process flow, it didn't basically understand that I am now as a corporate customer coming here, not as someone who's looking for a job. And again, I did this without, I didn't do this before, so it's not that I was picking on anything. I was just playing now, just tried it out in front of you. But let's try out. So here we created a bot for the same group. And again, we just, as Ghassan, keep in mind, like you said, there's a lot of information. So we quickly trained the bot. So we didn't really do a big proper effort in terms of taking all of the kind of information. But let's kind of do the same thing and start by quickly asking, I have a hospital in Jordan. Can I make use of the service? And I'm not sure now if you do operate in Jordan or not. I make use of your services. Let's see if it gets us something. Ghassan, do you have an operation in Jordan? Just so that we know. We know what to expect. Okay, you don't have. Good. So we'll see what it's going to give us. Doing a lot of thinking because it seems it didn't find in its training data anything about Jordan. But let's see if it comes up with something else. And then we can try the question you asked, before, why use your services? All right. Okay, so here, let's say, absolutely, here it didn't get it right. We specialize in connecting her to top medical talent across the Middle East, including Saudi Arabia and Qatar. So I did a mistake here. Now, in this kind of case, what would happen, and again, these are like I told you earlier, we're just trying these out together. So no not a package demo. By partner, okay, so great. So now it's giving me the sales pitch. But it told me that it does have a Jordan hospital. But as you can see, it's also telling us to get in touch on the contact page. So like I told you, these bots are designed, in this case, when we design them as sales bots, they're designed to take the needs and push them into the, to answer the questions and to drive people towards the contact us page. So let's ask this question. Okay, good. Let's see. And anyone else, I mean, if you got any other question, feel free to ask. So Ahmed is asking, is it not taking such time every time? You can see now, Ahmed, it responded quite quickly. And it really depends, but at the same time, bear in mind that these are not optimized on high-end servers, meaning I mean, these bots are demo bots. We would, they're not really optimized for speed, etc. So all of these things in a live environment, and these are all quickly set up, but in a live environment, and for depending on the requirements, you can definitely speed them up on many different things. So Ghassan, let me know what you think about this. What do you think about the response, I mean? I hope you can read it here. And you can see now, in this case, because this is a job seeker, it directed them towards the Find a Job page, not just the Contact Us page, like it did in the enterprise side, like if a hospital manager was. So it knows how to differentiate. And this is where the beauty of these bots are. They're quite intelligent, basically, intelligent bots. So Fahad is asking what kind of algorithm is used behind the AI. So we have a layer of AI at the potential side, which basically does the interpreting, does the training, and the inference. And then at the back end, we have the option of connecting for the heavy stuff, like the heavy things that need high-end AI. We have the option of connecting to OpenAI or Anthropic, or the I think there was a third one as well. The open source one from Meta. So the OpenAI and the Claude ones are very good. They cover. I mean, they're the best in the market. OpenAI performs on most things the best, but these things are changing. So what's good about what we've done is we've allowed us to update. So just a month ago, before OpenAI launched their version 4.0, Claude was better. So we moved a lot of our bots to the Claude because they had improved a lot more. Then 4.0 came out from OpenAI. That was pretty good. So we've now used that again for many aspects. So for the heavy AI stuff, you really need to use either the top models, which are the OpenAI, Anthropic at the moment, or in the open source world. So in the open source models, which Facebook has created, these are really important if you have confidential information that you want to put there. And like Ali is specifically saying, if you have specific things that you want to, like confidential medical information, etc., you wouldn't want that information to go to either OpenAI or Anthropic. You'd want to set up a local AI model in your hospital or government agency, etc., because that would be more specific. But in terms of so training on the specific answers, yes, you can train for specific answers and give it guidelines. But if you really want to train completely, then you go back to that decision tree cycle. If you want it to be specific within, very specific answers, there's no room for errors, there's no room for any mistakes. Then you go through something that is prepackaged. But for most of the cases, and this is why we're focusing with these chatbots on the website use, because on the website you have public information. There isn't anything that's confidential because it's already public. So it's much easier to get it out. The risk and the criticality is not as high as if you do something that's very internal, very specific. Now, in terms of the attachment part, yes, our bots do take an attach. So you can upload a file, whether it's a PDF or an image, and it will take it to the content. So this is all the part of the AI that is running on potential.com. I was telling you earlier, we've done a lot of developments for our local AI models running on Potential, but then for like new ones, etc., we would send to the back end to the others. Now, Ghassan is asking if we can use a combination of both tree structure and AI. So that goes in the training, Ghassan. So in the training, you could come and say, if you're asked these kind of questions, here are the answers that I want you definitely to answer, right? As an example, the example we just tried together, here's a list of the countries we operate in. Any other country outside of these lists, you should say, we don't have. But maybe, Ghassan, I'm asking you, I don't know if you do that survey, but maybe like the bot suggested, that by partnering with you can access qualified candidates. Maybe there's room for even places where you're outside, you don't operate, that they could use some consulting services from you, etc. But all of these things could be trained in the bot to know how to answer. And again, going back to everyone on the call now, these things can continuously evolve. I mean, you start with the low-hanging fruit. This is why we say, you know, and we're really encouraging all of our network, our customers, our partners, use the AI tools for the simple stuff right now, because they're very easy and very useful in terms of how do they, you know, they can be used. And then you can evolve it. It's such a disruptive area that there's so many elements that it could improve on in your business. Okay, so let's move to the next example. Ghassan, if you've got any other question or any other point, keep on going, but let's move to another example so that you see, I wanted you to get a feel of different use cases. Here's another website we received from one of the registrants. I don't know if anyone's joining us from Nomads. So it's a lovely, I love the idea and the thought. So basically you book your stay in nature. It's a, you know, stay away, and basically provides holistic rejuvenation. So you could see, I mean, there's a lot of things, and you got the idea now of the sales bot, where you could add somewhere here. They don't have a bot on the website, but you could easily add a bot, and similar to what we were doing before, interact with it in different ways. But I wanted to show you another use case other than the sales bot, a bot that does coaching or that does services. So similar to what Sausan had, I think Sausan was that right? Had asked earlier. Yes, Sausan. And I'll come to the question of Ahmad. I haven't, sorry, Ahmad, because I saw, for example, can you upload a CV and ask the AI to find a good job for my experience? Okay, good question. Now, to do that, it's a little bit more complicated, Ahmed. So of course you can upload the CV. You could tell the bot, you know, give me some feedback on the CV, etc. Now, when you want to link it to specific jobs on the site, like in the case of the hospital group IHS, is that correct? IHR site, you would need to have a link, a real-time link. So you need to create what is called like an API that connects the database of the jobs with the CV outputs. So the AI will do, you know, you could upload the CV, the AI would give you some great tips and will tell you in general if your CV fits within the job profiles that are on the site in general, let's say. And then because maybe someone's uploading a CV for, you know, a marketing job, but that's not what IHR does. So it will tell it marketing jobs, even though in the healthcare space, we're not really, that's not our specialty area, and end of story, move on. But if it is a physician that applies and their CV is in line with what IHR does, in line with the geographies that IHR operates in, then there would be another layer of interaction that needs to be built, which is the connection, like I said, with the database of IHR that shows the jobs that are available right then. And the AI at the potential side can then do a match between which ones are the best fit for the jobs and the CV that was provided. I saw actually on the call, there was John Kilvington, one of our partners from the UK, who's actually doing something similar to this in the UK. So that's a level that can be done, but it needs a bit more effort. Like I said, to link in with the database, just to give you real-time matching of what jobs match the actual CV that was uploaded. And let me know if that answers the question, Ghassan, Ahmad, and if there are any other questions that I've missed, so that I can, you know, because I'm going to move on to the next website, as I said, the Nomads website. Okay. So is it the database? So usually, Ghassan, the database you have on the website would probably be this one database you're using anyway. So it's the same database, but you would need to give our AI and our tool an access to your database. But I believe what will be on the website should be feeding from the same database you have in the company, the same database that we would be talking to if we were connecting on the API level. Yeah. Okay. All right. So keep your questions coming. I'll answer them later. But let's move on to the Nomads example. So here, like I said, in the case of Nomads, you got the idea of the sales bots and you got how they would work. I want to show you an example of a wellness bot. So this wasn't developed specifically for Nomads, but imagine that this bot is trained on what Nomad does and its on its approach. So here, this is a wellness bot. It provides holistic, general information. So you can imagine this could be provided by Nomad as an extra service. After the people go and they stay in their location, they could have 1 year access to the Nomad's wellness bot as an example, or wellness coach, and it would be trained on things that Nomad does. Or basically it could provide general coaching that can be used in the sessions and beyond, or it could be provided as a customer service offering to people that are there that have questions around the kind of wellness that Nomad does. So here we're just going to interact a few interactions with this. So how are you feeling today? Instead of saying great, I'm going to say not that great, just so that we make it more interesting and see how it starts to interact with us. And you can see, again, I forgot to ask me if it's quick. You can see here the answer was really quick. I'm sorry to hear how you're not feeling good. Can you tell me a bit more about what's going on? Are you specific, any symptoms or issues that you'd like to address? I am not getting good sleep. Okay. Okay. All right, so now it's giving me some suggestions. And the idea of this specific bot that we're using now is that it's designed to give you behavioral changes, behavioral suggestions, instead of, it's not a doctor, it's not going to recommend any kind of medicine, etc. But it will focus more on things that you could do to change, your behaviors, whether it comes with regards to your diet or in regards to your exercise or any other routine. Give you some practical tips, and it's designed to give you really practical tips. And you can keep on, digging deeper on any, any level of points. So, can you give me more example? Let me see. Are there teas that provide magnesium? I don't know if there are. I'm curious because I think magnesium is really good in general. And I'm not sure if you can drink it with anything. I know you can eat it with the other stuff. May not provide enough magnesium. Okay, so you get the idea. And this is the other kind of example of how you can interact with these bots. Let me know what you think so far. I mean, does this make sense? And are you finding them useful? And do you have any questions? Now, for the rest, we didn't create any more bots because we didn't have, we knew we're not going to have a lot of time to go into too much more in depth. But you could see here are some other websites that were sent to us. Here's an example of a website. So this is a computer company that sent us, again, reputable company. If anyone's attending from the company, let us know on the chat. So lots of information here, lots of services, lots of things. And they have this pop-up, as you can see, that came up on the site. Get a free estimate for your project, name, email, etc. So it's a good concept in the sense that, okay, this is a way where it's a quick, contact us kind of page, but with a bit more information about the project. But you could see the example where we showed you how if you could replace this with an actual bot that interacts with you and gets a bit more information about your project, sort of nudges you in the direction of what this company provides, showing the value add, you're more likely as a visitor to the website to share more details about your project. And that's why this would be much better replaced with a general bot. Here's another example of a site that was sent to us, TourPress. Again, this site provides buses that can be booked. Again, easy to answer common questions on the site and drive people to sort of do, you could even let it do an ROI calculation in terms of how much it would cost X number of people going somewhere, how much would they save? That kind of information could be useful if you put in a bot that talks to users here to convince them to get in touch and interact. So again, you could see here how a sales bot on the website could be quite useful. And another technology company based out of Saudi has some big names in terms of customers, but they're not apparent basically on the main landing page. And again, here you could imagine that a bot that interacts can bring out the value for the company much more for a visitor and highlight some of the big projects that they've worked on and are working on. Okay, so while we do that, let me see if you've got any questions. I'm going to go back to Ahmad's question. This kind of website is updated daily with job standards or whatever is published. The AI is online all the time. It can see every post or update, learning from it, so it can provide answers, questions, or need me to update. No, Ahmed, it's of course all of this is done automatically, Ahmed. So what this is what I was referring to, connecting through an API. So we'll connect to an API with your database that is feeding the information to the website. So you don't need to create anything new. It's just that we will talk to whatever you're using now that feeds the website with the information. And that becomes what our AI will talk to. So anytime, going back to the example you shared, anytime there's a TV that's uploaded, like I said, before we do any talking on the API, etc., the local AI will assess if this is a good fit for the offerings that you have. And if it is, then it would do a lookup using the API to the database to identify the best matches. That would be the sort of architecture it would work. So Ghassan is asking about the cost. So in this case, when it comes to the case of the chatbots, I think now, as you saw even in our previous discussion, so just before I answer that question, Ghassan, so I'll go back to this page. So we close the demos. So this is again the technology page. You could see like on the home page, it didn't really show us that they have really these big government projects which are pretty powerful, etc. So you'd want, if there was a chatbot that was on the front page, it will highlight these things. It will refer to them when the user is asking about projects, you know, that are that they're looking for. It could pick up from previous projects that have operated and give it some good feedback about it. So anyway, I'm going to pause here on the sharing part of the discussion. Then I can continue a bit answering some of the questions. And if you want to, Rozaba, take it back to your end with the slides. I think Ghassan, Rozaba, and the team have put together an offer for the website chatbots because, like we're, you know, to be honest, we've been working really a lot in the AI space over the past 18 months, ever since the generative AI boom started. And what we found when we talk to our customers, we have very large customers, and we work also with startups, etc. So we have the whole spectrum of clients that we work with. And the common thing we found with our customers, big and small, is that they're overwhelmed with the developments that are happening in AI. They could see that there are opportunities, but they don't want to invest too much time in something that maybe would be useful, might not, maybe would be expensive, might not. So what we've been trying to figure out over the past couple of months is what would be the best entry points for our partners, our customers, to get into AI. And we found that the two best entry points are, one, to upskill your team. So the program I was sharing with you at the beginning, where I showed you the program we launched, the AI Amplify program, the first chatbot I was demonstrating for you. That's an example of, for us, which is a very simple thing that we believe every organization should be promoting to their employees. Everyone should be trained on how to deal with AI, how to interact with it, how to get the best out of it, what to be careful about, what are the things that you need to be watching out for. And that's like a very important first entry point into AI that every organization should be taking. The second entry point that we think could be really easy to apply and use are these chatbots. And the website chatbots for companies that don't have chatbots. So in Ghassan's case and some other examples, you already have some chatbots so on the main website. So it might not be as relevant. You don't want to change that. You've invested a lot in the previous decision trees. Chatbots or you want something that's a little bit more sophisticated, etc. So you're not going to take the basic chatbot we've been offering on the website. But we've done this offer now for $25 a month, which is just a little bit more than your enterprise subscription for one user on ChatGPT, without having it on your website, without having all the other things that you saw, that could be provided by these chatbots, without personalizing them, etc. So we figured this could be a very low price point, just to get everyone to play around with these bots on their websites, which are the main place where all your users come, where you interact with them, so that you can get the best return on investment from such a small investment of $25 a month to have a chatbot running on your website. Now, but that's talking about, like you saw some of these examples, straightforward, simple chatbots that we just learn from whatever is on your website, and they become intelligent in talking to your users and driving traffic to your contact us page. Similarly, with the coaching bots, like Sausan was mentioning, these are also very cost effective. Also $25 a month, you can get them up and running, trained on a particular topic. They could act as coaches, ready to go. And you could imagine you could have 10 coaches for 10 different topics, each specialized in different areas. And then you could charge this as a service to your customers. So you pay $25 a month for a coach, but you might be having 100 users using it, and you're charging your own fee for that. So that's another kind of use case that is really easy to apply and can fit within this $25 a month segment. When it comes to Ghassan and Ahmad, your kind of questions where we have to do, tap into a database to have real-time interactions, that needs a bit more investigation to identify how much effort and time is involved. It's not really that complicated from a technology perspective for our team. We've done a lot of these kind of things now, and they're not as complicated as they used to be. So in the past, any kind of project like this would take months to set up. We're talking now in maximum weeks, but possibly days. You can have a really complex project up and running, similar to the kind of questions we were getting asked by Ahmad and Ghassan. So I just wanted to give you that broad space. I hope you get a better sense of the landscape and the pricing points, and let me know if you've got any other questions. I'm going to pass it on to Rawza, but I'm going to stay available on chat if you have more questions. Thanks for your attention, your interactions. Great talking to you, interacting with you. And Ghassan's asking you, how can we move forward if we want to get more info? I'm not sure which email you got to register here, but if best would be to send to Rawza. He will coordinate with the right people. I'm just going to put this email on the here. Okay, so it's on the chat, rawza@potential.com. Anyone that has any questions or want to send anything to anything there, you could send it.
It's poll time. We'd love to hear from you. Please take a moment to answer the poll that's just opened on your screen.
Okay, do we have any other questions? Any other things? Sausan, did you get your answer on the coaching side? Let me go back to the beginning and see if there were any other points that were raised. And if I missed any question, please ask it again. Just remind me of it. Okay, great. All right, let me know if this was worth your time in general. Do you think we should be doing more of these kind of things? And did you like the fact that we go live into the websites and work on them together? Because this is something we've been thinking would be a good way for us to guide more of our partners and stakeholders. So John's asking, how much information can we send you to train the bot? Honestly, John, the sky's the limit. You could train it with as much details as you want. So that it becomes really specific. So ideally, you'd want to start with the kind of, if you've got your own set of things you want to train it on that are ready to go, that would be my suggestion. So again, with all of these things, the pace of change is moving so fast, the pace of AI development is moving so fast, you don't really want to get involved in really long-term projects, because things are moving quickly. Something that might take a month to do today might, in the next 2 months, take a week to do. So it's better to work with whatever you have. So for example, if you already have some training material or information that you could be used for training, those would be the best things to start with. Send them our way. We'd assess them, ask any questions that we have, and then we try to figure out what's the fastest way, most efficient way to train them. So usually what happens, if I'm going to go just a little bit into the technicalities. So what we'll do is we'll do the training on the potential side, where we'll summarize all these documents that you send, etc., so that our AI system locally can handle these in a much faster way. And then once that is done, we start to use OpenAI, etc., for only specific things that come from the user side that might not be addressable, out of the box from our AI, or might need to be formulated in a way, written in a certain way that is more eloquent. And those are the kind of things that the OpenAI Anthropic would do. But the training of the content happens at the potential AI side. So Ahmed's asking about the demo version and the full version. So when the demo version, I believe now is being offered for you attending, you could set it up and on your website, try it out for a month, see how it goes, and no strings attached. If you don't like it, you could take it off later on. So that's the general offer of the what we're doing now from a demo version. Now, when we're talking about going back to the speed issues, etc., if it's a bigger project, if it's more enterprise ready, if it's something that needs to be really done, we'll need to do a bit more work to set up the infrastructure in a way which could be faster. And those would be the kind of areas. For the, again, for that simple offering, like you saw in terms of the responses, as per our interactions, you might get 1 out of 10 responses, which could be like a few seconds late. But in general, things work quite efficiently. So there's no point really spending, again, too much money or effort in speeding it up further. But for some enterprise applications, yes, you will need it to be faster. And you could do that by going into a more sophisticated version. So I don't want to call it a demo or full version, but it's just that you use more sophisticated infrastructure. You connect to faster servers. You put more dedicated resources to it to make it more enterprise ready.
Did you know that according to SmartBot,
All right, any other questions?
67% of business leaders report increased sales due to AI chatbots? Did you know that according to SmartBot, 67%? Moving to the e-commerce segment, AI chatbots are boosting e-commerce revenue by 7% to 25%. AI chatbots engage customers in real time, offering personalized recommendations and instant support. This keeps customers engaged, reduces cart abandonment, and encourages higher spending. They provide seamless shopping experiences by assisting with product searches, answering questions, and completing purchases. It's poll time. We'd love to hear from you. Please take a moment to answer the poll that's just opened on your screen.
Great. So more than 44% of the attendees answered all the above, which is amazing. So now the section of the special offer for the webinar attendees, which is a 1 month free for the basic AI chatbot that Chadi mentioned. So to get this offer, please, if you're using your laptop, please use your phones to scan this QR code or visit ai.potential.com/AI-bot. So you can visit this link, fill up the form, and click on Get Started. Then at checkout, please add the coupon code AI Webinar. So you'll get access to 1 month free for your AI chatbot. Once you submit that, we'll share with you a link for your AI chatbot, the embed code to embed it on your website within 24 hours. If you need more information, please feel free to reach out to us on rauzaba@potential.com on the email on the screen. Also, if you have any further questions, please let us know in the chat. And if you'd like also to step in and unmute yourself and speak, please also feel free to ask for that. So I believe you don't have any further questions. Thank you everyone for joining. It was a great session. I hope you found it beneficial. Thank you everyone for joining, and feel free to reach out via email if you have any further questions. Goodbye.